Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, November 8th, 2024, and I am looking south down the tracks leading out of Pottsville Union Station, of course in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. And guys, I've done a lot of exciting videos over the years. To me, maybe not to you, but to me, this is the most exciting day of rail fanning I've ever had yet. And do you know why? Guys, it's a historic moment on the Reading and Northern Railroad, and it's also something very personally meaningful to me today. Guys, let me introduce you to our fourth operable RDC, number 9164. That's right, guys, your eyes do not deceive you. There are 4 running RDCs here today in Pottsville. 9164 was just released from our paint shop in West Cressona a couple days ago. That's just up the rails from here, a couple miles away. And today we're going to be test running all 4 together, and if all goes well, moving them back to Reading Outer Station. Last weekend was the final weekend of the fall foliage trips out of Pottsville for 2024, so there's no reason to keep them here. But guys, why is this so personal to me? Well, I've talked a lot about my new job, my new full-time job at Reading and Northern. And one of the things that I do now is I make the graphics for the rail cars. And for these RDCs, I had to start almost from scratch with everything. Now you're going to notice a few differences. Instead of saying Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern, it has been shortened to Reading and Northern. That is something we are doing on all of our coaches going forward. We're also using a different font on the numbers. This was something that my predecessor, Steve Gilbert, had worked on to try to bring them more in line with the original Reading Company number fonts. And so what you're looking at here, what says Reading and Northern, those were cut as vinyl stencils, which the paint shop applied and painted white over the blue. All of the blue stencils, like the 9164 on the sideboard here, this was something that I created, and it was directly applied. So it is going to look a little different than our other RDCs, but when we redo the other RDCs, and I do mean when, not if, they are going to be brought in line with that same font that we are now using on all of our passenger coaches. You'll notice underneath, now it's of course in shadow right now. Oh, check that out, they're revving up the engine. One of the engines. Got the whole set of them revving up. Take a little diversion here. This is the cover of one of the engines. Engine number 2. And unlike our diesel electric locomotives, these are diesel direct drive. You can see the drive shaft going into the truck there. And as I was starting to say, even though these are in shadow, you can see the whole underside, and the trucks have gotten a fresh coat of blue paint. This is the back side of the cover for the other engine. Now, something else that I've done for you guys, I recreated the Bud logo completely from scratch. I could not find a vector version of it, so I found a good photograph online, and I started with a blank screen with that as an underlay and recreated that from scratch. That's cut out of 2 different colors of vinyl and direct applied. Now, I know you often do see the Bud logo in the lighter blue. We did not have the lighter blue vinyl, but there is, if you look online, there are some with the dark blue. We decided to go with that for now just to get something on it. And believe it or not, the RDCs do have a front. This was a letter I recreated from one of our diesel locomotives, 2013 if I recall. We have redone the signs on the steps that say watch your step, again using that same blue vinyl. And coming around to the front, we have the new blue vinyl for 9164. We have the number boards up top. I had nothing to do with the number boards. And coming around to the Road of Anthracite logo, that's two colors of vinyl, the black and the blue, cut and overlaid on top of each other. That recreates what we have on the other RDCs, though it does do it with the newer font and newer diamond design. These are little subtleties, guys, you may not have noticed, and I never noticed until I had to start doing the work myself. Now, I also redid a lot on the inside. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to give you a look at that today. I want to let these guys work. They are getting these ready for their run. If I can get in there at some point, I will. If not, we'll just save that for another video. Take a walk down the line here. We do have the Bud logo again. Now, we didn't put the RDC one just because for some reason on these ones boards we had this bracket that doesn't exist on the others. It didn't quite give us the room to put the RDC one. Now, I'm told around 11 o'clock, Andy Muller Jr., owner of the Reading and Northern Railroad, is going to be coming, and he is going to be the engineers for this historic to us test run. This will be the first time we've ever had 4 operating RDCs coupled together. And guys, I know RDCs are less common than they used to be, though there's still quite a few running, but seriously, and I don't know the answer to this, when was the last time that 4 RDCs ran anywhere together? We've got 9168 here. And you can take a look at the old lettering here. It's been quite a few years since this one was painted. Not ready for a redo yet per se, but it's something I'd like to see in the near future. Even though this is the same blue, you can tell that it's gotten grimy and dirty and faded over the years. Unfortunately, that happens, but at some point we'll do something about that. And over here is 9166, the one I affectionately call my childhood friend. This one ran on the old Wall Street and Crusader routes from Philadelphia to Jersey City and back. And I did get to see those come through the Belmead station during the week when I was a kid. And because this video is preempting quite a few that I shot before, I am going to tell you guys, I shot a very exciting video in this Bud car last Sunday. It'll take probably, I'm going to say a couple weeks till that one hits, but I think you're really going to like it. Now this one, we have kept the original Reading company up top. You can faintly see the Boston and Maine through there. I'm sure the camera's not picking up, but this was originally a Boston and Maine RDC. And then at the back here is 9167. Guys, we don't get to see this one run nearly often enough. Hopefully, what I'm told, we should be seeing it in action this fall out of Reading. Ticket sales have been pretty strong. We should be running all three, unless we substitute 9164 or run 4 of them. This one also having the original Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern. I'm going to say of the 3, this one, the paint job is in the best shape though, so probably not going to redo it anytime soon, but you never know. And finally, just circling around to the end here. I know we're looking into the sun, so it's not ideal, can't be helped at the time of day. But here it is, guys, all 4 RDCs together. The engines are fired up, and they're a little less than an hour away from their big test. Alright guys, and now I am able to give you an exclusive look inside RDC 9164. This is, well, you're not getting a great view down the tracks because of the sun glare out the front window. This is the operator stand here. It looks like this seat was just redone. That looks really comfortable. A little bit less sun glare out that window. Got 9164 up top. I did cut that out of vinyl as well. And everything you see inside here, guys, with the vinyl, this was all my work. I spent some good time in 9168 and 9166 when they were in Jim Thorpe, photographing and redoing all of the graphics. Now all 3 that we have are, of course, exactly different. But I used 9168 for the most part as the model for it, given that it's also an RDC1, and given that that's the one that we use the most often and people are the most familiar with. So when you walk inside, it should look familiar. Now the seats are a little different. Instead of having the, you know, the solid bench, these are 2 individual seats, and instead of tan, they are red. The one thing that's not done yet, but looking good, and it'll be done very early next week as soon as I get back to work. I have been on vacation this week. Is you'll recall that all of our open air cars and our RDCs have the sky for the ceiling with the birds. The only thing this is lacking right now is the birds, and I can tell you where they're at. They're all sitting on a table in my shop in Nesquehoning. They have been printed and laminated and are just waiting to be cut and applied. Basically what I did, I took photos of all the birds that we already had and photoshopped them and did some work to get them out to the vinyl machine and cutter and recreated them. And I think so far the shop has done a great job painting the ceiling the sky blue and putting some clouds in. And the reason we're recreating it as such is the original ones were hand painted by an artist named John Bond. He did a wonderful job, but he is now enjoying his retirement and does not plan to paint any more for us. However, that doesn't mean we can't keep that paint scheme going throughout our fleet. So like 9168, we've got our Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway and Road of Anthracite logos on this partition wall. This partition wall down the middle says where the exhaust stacks go up to the roof. And then this is just the second half of the compartment. You can see on this side, guys, they haven't quite painted the clouds yet. They will be doing that. Just for timing reasons, we needed to get it back out to Reading. We'll finish it up there. And we've got the guys working in the cab at the other end. I'll let them do their work. We've got new speakers so that you could hear the voice of the railroad as you do your trip. And that voice is usually Josh Cascarella. Sorry, Russ. Couldn't do a video without getting a jab at you there. It's not me, guys, but hopefully someday I'll get my turn. Yeah, we got Andy Muller Jr. taking a seat at the controls here. Facing you, this is a historic moment. I want to see all 4 running. Now this would probably be a good time to give you a little more of the history on this RDC. This one is a Phase 2 RDC-1, built in October of 1956 as B&O number 1908. It was later owned by MARC and then by the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, which numbered it 20. That's the livery it was in when it was delivered to us about 2 years ago. And then after the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, it went to Western Maryland Scenic Railroad in 2019. They never repainted it, but we bought it from them in 2022. Alright guys, they told me they're going straight through to Reading as long as everything goes well. Let's keep our fingers crossed. These things move. I'm probably only going to catch them at a few spots, but they're ready to go. Here it is, guys, 4 RDCs together for the first time on the Reading and Northern Railroad. Well guys, I guess the test is going well. They moved so quick I didn't even get the first blast of the horn. Okay guys, it's been a little over a half-hour wait here at the north end of the North Reading yard. There's track work going on in the yard. They were welding a frog on one of the switches. So the RDCs have been stopped on the Peacock's Lock Viaduct. Nothing I could show you there, but I had just heard the 2 blasts of the horn. Here they come. Russ is always so happy to see me.
Trying to foam on your home court and you get invaders.
That's right.
I don't believe it.
That's right. Let me guess, you followed him down from Schuylkill Haven.
Oh no, I was working here this morning and the timing worked out perfectly.
Well, another foamer invaded your territory in Schuylkill Haven and see, you didn't even know.
I figured, yeah.
You didn't even know. But I'm honest, I confess.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I filmed it from the stairwell there.
Oh, nice. If you want to share it for the channel, we'd all appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. See, you are the best.
I'll send it to you. How's that?
Look at this. Guys, I heckle him to no end and he still sends me video.
Nice like that. The voice of the railroad is a good guy.
There you go. I'll have to meet him someday.
I'll send that to you right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, thank you, Russ.
Sure.
All right, guys, coming up, Russ's clip of them arriving at Reading Outer Station.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go right on through the belt the way Andy was going.
Hey, he's faster than Rich Bernhardt. I think we need to break him into 2 pairs of 2 and have a race.
Yep. And, I don't know if you can...
We are foaming with Russ now, guys.
Can you believe it? I never would have guessed this is how I'd spend my Friday.
He ought to know by now.
2 rivals
Guys,
filming together.
I'm off from work this week. What do you expect me to do besides, well, come back to work and film trains?
Where else are you going to get this?
I love it, guys. You can't keep me away. I love this stuff too much.
Beautiful. You ought to be very proud of yourself.
Thank you, Russ. Look at
Great.
Look at that gleaming in the sunlight. That's the best shot yet. It was half in shadow at Pottsville this morning, but my God, look at it in the sun.
Boy.
Even Russ likes it.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, I'm partial to the one that says Reading Company, but we'll take this. That's gorgeous.
Well, we got some things coming for the Reading Company one too, and guys, that one's technically still my favorite. So, give us a couple months. Let's see what that one looks like in the spring.
Yeah.
I tell Russ off camera. The rest of you have to wait.
Haha. Being a member of the club has its privileges.
All right, guys, that was a pretty quick chase. In fact, Andy was already taxied away by the time I got to Outer Station, so I didn't get to ask how things went, but given how swift the chase went, I gotta believe everything went pretty well. Now here we are again to look at the opposite side of 9164. This would have been against the wall in Pottsville, and the sun is shining brightly on it. And guys, it's a very rare day that I brag, but man, I am looking at this and I am just absolutely overjoyed with how beautiful this looks. My part in it was admittedly just a small part. We have a fantastic crew in our paint and restoration department. 99% of the credit goes to those guys. They just did a phenomenal job both prepping, painting, and applying the decals that I made. Well, they are on toilet duty today, guys, and I'm guessing you don't really want to see that part of the action, so we are going to wrap it up here. But wait, there's one more thing.
I should have my microphone for this.
You should.
Now, this is Bob Barker reminding you to help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
Signing off from Reading Outer Station. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks.